Going from fat to fit is harder than most people think. If you started off skinny, all you gotta do is just eat, go to the gym, and lift. But you're learning new habits as well. And I'm not saying you guys have it hard too. You guys do have it hard. But fat to fit is just a whole nother experience. And I've been through both sides of the spectrum. I've lost over 80 pounds from the 240-pound kid I used to be. But then what came with that? Losing muscle, having loose skin, and then turning into that skinny kid, then having to build muscle through the process and developing a physique that I'm proud of, but it took a long time to accept myself for who I was internally and outside. You guys may be going through the same thing as well, the body dysmorphia. You look at yourself in the mirror and you can't grasp or accept that you're not at the standards where you want to be at. Yeah, and it just takes time. You got to realize that it takes time. You're not going to get there in a year or a few months. I mean, you can, but it takes time. With going from fat to fit, you're learning and undoing years of habits and trauma. And that's the best way I can explain it. You're undoing the junk food, the constant junk food you used to binge on and cry yourself to sleep on. The emotional binging when you used to eat junk food or cookies or snacks or whatever was in your closet because you felt like crap. You were sad. You were alone at school. You were isolated by others at school. That's how I felt growing up. And that self-image part too. The fact that you're someone that is a junk food lover, that eats junk food constantly, that eats junk food on autopilot. You have to undo those years of habits and trauma that you've built on, that you have access to the sweets, to the junk food, to the McDonald's, to whatever you can have your hands on, like a bag of chips. And you got to undo all that when you want to go from fat to fit. You got to sacrifice that all. You got to take that all out of your life if you want to become someone obviously better. Even the late night binging, you opening up your fridge in the middle of the night and eating all the ice cream. I used to open up my fridge, grab milk, start eating a bunch of Oreo cookies, and then I would open up the ice cream section, eat the ice cream Nestle chocolate chip cookie sandwiches. Oh my gosh, I was addicted to those growing up. But you learn how to undo the habits over time. But undoing these habits led to me obviously attaining a body that, I'm proud of now in the present moment. And it's also undoing trauma, your social anxiety, your depression, suicidal thoughts, and ideations. The fact that you don't want to live anymore. And it's scary. And you have to rework your whole mental health and your whole mental system in order to go from fat to fit. Because without a mental system, you'll never, ever go from fat to fit. It's just not possible without a constructed mental system. And I had to create one myself. I had to affirm. I had to visualize and think of becoming the best version of myself and reenact it in the present moment and do the habits that he does that will lead to weight loss. The cardio, the hours of cardio I spent, reworking my diet, cleaning up my diet, cleaning up years and years and years of me. I don't know what I was even putting in my body. Seed oils, Red 40, all these chemicals that I've been eating cereal in the morning. No protein, carbs, pizza, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut. I mean, the list goes on. All of this that I was consuming, the Cokes, the Sprites, it turned my body into a toxic machine. And the same goes with watching porn. I used to watch hours upon end of that because that was the only source of connection I felt at times with myself, was to pleasure myself. That was the goal because it was not risky to go and access those bad sites. And the same with video games. The video games were a source of comfort as well for me, not just the junk food, not just the porn. They provided a source of comfort for me. That's why I degraded so much. That's why many fat people don't even have a reason to live because they consume so much of their time on these dopaminergic activities. That in itself is their reason to live. It's going through that and doing that stuff. Hours upon end, played on my PC, my Nintendo Switch. Hours upon end, I'd come back from school, open up my phone instantly and wank it out. The thing that hurts from fat to fit is when you start working out, it's hard. Like, I don't know. I couldn't even jog without like getting shortness of breath for like a minute at first. But then over time, you just build up that resistance. I even got short of breath when I was lifting weights at first. Me being a 240-pound kid, you'd assume I was strong. No, I couldn't even lift the barbell off the bench when I first tried it out. That's how weak I was. That's how fragile I was. I never did sports in my life. I mean, I don't even know how I did it. Sometimes I can't even remember the step-by-step processes I took to get from that to that. Now I'm benching 225 for reps today, you know? It's that big of a difference that changes you. The chest I built. This all used to just be boobs and fat. And I built something here or here in my arms or my forearm veins that I'm proud of today in the present moment. And you know, the fact that you're eating on a calorie deficit, you're more hungry, you're more tired, you're more scared, you're frustrated. And the scale at first doesn't even move because your body's adjusting. Metabolism is adjusting. You're reworking your whole entire system and reframing it and putting all the pieces together into one. That's the magical thing about weight loss and going from fat to fit. You're reworking your whole metabolism, so that takes time to put into effect. And then the scale starts getting into your head. And with your weak mental health you grew up with the traumas you grew up with, it starts getting in your head. And you get messed up and tired and you just hate yourself. You feel like you're so distant from the goal already when you've went out there and tried to achieve the goal. But it just takes time. It's like you say no to the cake. You say no to the junk food. You say no to the orb, but no one claps for you. At first, people aren't going to show as much support, but people always show support after the journey has ended, after things have come to an end, after you've lost the 80 pounds. That's when people will show the appreciation, and it's hard, and it gets in your head. You drop 10 pounds, no one claps for you. You drop 20 pounds, few people start to notice. You drop 50 pounds. Yeah, people give you compliments, but it just wasn't enough for your mental health. I mean, if you post it on social media, obviously, yes, then people are going to say something about it. But me growing up, I was too insecure to even post on social media. So I never got the congratulations I needed to get. And I see all of your guys' comments, and I congratulate you, every single one of you, for losing that weight. And it's like you miss one workout, and you feel like you failed, and you feel like the whole world is just dragging you down now. You miss your leg day, or you miss your back day, or you miss a session of cardio you were supposed to do at night, or maybe a session in the morning, and you feel guilty over that. So then you just indulge in the junk food or the bad habits, and you overeat, and that's just part of the process. That is part of the process. And there's nothing you should feel guilty about, because you know that if you believe in yourself and you keep going, you will eventually get there, right? In the present moment. And you'll become that person soon, like I have. Like, I've become the person that I dreamed of, but I'm not there yet per se. You know, there's still a lot I can work on. There's still a lot I can develop about myself. The journey from fat to fit just never stops. It never ends. I feel like it just keeps on going even after you lost the weight. And it's like people stop inviting you out because you're dieting so much that the people can't relate to you because they're not going through what you're going through. They don't see the struggles or the mental battles that you have to face unless you open up and talk about it with them, of course. But they want to go out and have a good time. But then when you go out and eat that junk food or consume those bread rolls or get that endless pasta at Olive Garden, it's like, bro, like, you're going to feel guilty after that. That scale's going to go up. It's scary. It's anxiety inducing. One thing like that won't change everything as long as you do it in moderation. Now, I'm not saying go out there and drink a bunch of alcohol. No, that's going to make you gain weight. Like the other day at work, my coworkers brought pizza. You know how many pieces of freaking Pizza Hut I had? I had over 8 slices or more. A fat kid, sometimes he still carries on in your head. But if you can control your cravings and control those habits, you're gonna rocket zoom through, because that trauma still carries on from childhood. From when I was a child, I wanted all the pizza. I wanted to eat the whole box. It made me feel good about myself. It felt rewarded. And the best thing about Fat to Fit is we learn how to delay the process of gratification. Instant gratification is not a thing for us. It simply does not exist. And we learn that. We learn it doesn't exist. And so we wire our minds to delay that gratification, to delay that kick, and do the harder thing, like the workout, like the chest session with your friend, or doing arms. And that's all it takes, man. And it's one meal at a time. And you keep showing up every day, and you will lose the weight. I promise you. You just got to keep showing up. And you're not changing your body. Remember, you're literally changing your whole existence, your whole reality. You're becoming someone new, someone that you can actually be proud of. And you need to take that into granted. Fat to fit is harder. I hope that you guys relate with this video, that you guys take action from this video, or I hope that you guys, whoever lost weight, they connect and relate to this video. Or I've helped you, inspire you to start the weight loss journey. Because I've just explained in this video, it's hard. But I believe that you are capable of starting and losing the weight you need to lose for whatever goal you have, for the seeing your pictures or for looking good and accepting yourself for who you are.